Welcome everyone. Today I'd like to show you how to apply for admission as an international student to the Fort Hays State University Graduate School. The page I am gone to here is a link that you'll find in your instructions, and you'll notice there are tabs across the top here. The tab we would like you to begin with is on the Apply tab. The area that is of concern to you is here, which deals with international applicants. There are several links to documents that will help you be sure you have everything you need to complete your application. This checklist is an excellent place to begin. I encourage you to download it so you can see what types of documents we require for admission. Here is another information form, and that will help you as you process your application, financial form, and links to other forms if needed by departments or programs. The place I'd like to teach you about today is called the online application, and I'll click it now to begin our tutorial on how to apply for admission. So once you click on this link, this screen will appear, and this first question will say you've selected the application for international admission, and you need to make one of two choices here. Since most of you will be students, you'll want to click the first box. The bottom box is for agents or liaisons who assist students in applying to Fort Hays, but the demonstration today is how to apply as a student. So I've selected this box and will press the button to continue. Now the next screen tells you some important information about this application. We require a $50 application fee by credit card. If you cannot or do not have a credit card, you cannot use this online application. So before you continue with this process, I encourage you to check with your bank that issued your credit card to be sure that you can make a US dollar transaction and make the transaction to our institution. So let me continue. Let's say your answer to all this is yes, you can do this. There are two options. One is for students who will be coming to our campus in Hays, Kansas, United States, to attend their classes. And the other choice is for students who will not be traveling to Hays, Kansas to attend classes, but are taking courses online. Let me select the first choice, and you'll see some more choices have now appeared. And we need to know whether you'll be applying from outside the United States. That will be the case for most applicants, or whether you're currently in the United States and would be transferring to our institution. So let me choose the first choice, and then at the bottom we will choose graduate, and a question asked, have you attended or applied Fort Hays? Most likely the answer is no, and we click continue. Okay, so now we are into the application itself, and we'll begin to collect your information. This is very important for us to be able to process your file. So you will first choose your family or surname. I will use mine here, and then you will choose your first or given name, okay, a middle name or initial if you have one, preferred name. This could be a nickname or a an English name if you have English names and your native language is not English. A phone number. So what we would do here is we would put our area code first. If you're coming from another country, the country code actually would go first, then the area code, and then the rest of the number. Probably the most important part of your application is going to be your email address. So let's enter your email and let's confirm this email. That is the email's the primary way we communicate with you about your application materials and the status of your application. Next, we have more address information. So we'll need to know your permanent family address in your home country. So let's say this address is here, and we choose a city, a region or state or province. In the United States we have states, and postal code. And finally, most importantly, you'll want to select your country. In my case, it will be United States. Your current address. So let's say we type that. I'll just go ahead and go through this, and it fills out the same. We want to fill out the same city, region, state or province, and postal code and country. Okay, now if you have a separate address where we should send your admission packet, this is important. This is a very important field to fill out, and you can do this quickly by saying, I want my materials sent to my permanent family address, and it'll populate the field there, or I want it sent to my current address where you're living at the moment. So let me choose current address, and we'll put a phone number in here as well. Continue to the next page. In the next page, we ask some questions that the United States requires us to ask all applicants. Some of these are optional questions. The only questions that you have to answer are indicated with a red asterisk. So if you did not want to answer these questions, for example, you could continue to the next page. But I will go ahead and answer. I am a male, and I am not of Hispanic or Latino Spanish origin. Okay, now we get into some more information that's important. Do you have a United States Social Security number? Most of you will answer no. So you will get a temporary 8-digit identification number at the end of this application. Do you have a Fort Hays State ID number? No. Most of you will not. Do you have a Fort Hays State University 8-digit identification number? No. Most of you will not. Here you'll indicate your birth, and this is where you go start with day of birth, your month, and year. So most of you will be born probably, I would say around there. So place of birth, we'll choose a country here. I'll just choose Angola, and a city. I don't know cities in Angola, so I'll just make a city up here. and a region. That now the region, state, or province is optional, so you do not have to put that information here. Country of citizenship, I'll say I'm an Angolan. And our next page. Are you a foreign student currently in the United States? Most of you will say no, and we'll continue. If you answer yes to this question, there are several informational items related to U.S. Customs and Immigration that we have to collect from you. But most of you will say no. Language information, English is my native language. Let's say no. And do you plan to enroll in an intensive English program? Let's say you have your IELTS or TOEFL score that meets our criteria. So you would say no, you want to go right into our graduate programming, and you say when you took that. So let's say you took it here a few months ago, and your score. And you can type in the score here. Let's say you have an IELTS score of 6.5, so you would put that there. Or let's say you have a TOEFL IBT score of 79, and you would put that there. Is a language other than English regularly spoken in your home? You would say yes. And what language? I will choose this one. And what is the official language of your country? I'll choose that one as well. So now some academic information. The date you wish to enroll. Let's say you are looking at fall and the year 2014. Do you plan to earn your degree? Yes. And so now you must select a major. And here are the choices of programs that we offer on campus for international students. Let's say you want to apply for the MPS degree in organizational leadership. Are you a partnership student? Fort Hays University has agreements, special agreements with various partner universities around the world. If you don't know, you can click don't know, but most will say no in this box. Your background, this is where you're going to say which universities you attended, city, dates of attendance, what your major was, what degree you received, and when you received it. We want you to list all of your college and universities you attended, even if you did not get credit there. Okay, now your application is ready to be reviewed, and as I scroll through it, you can see the answers I gave. This is your opportunity to be sure that your responses are accurate. If you need to edit any responses, you can do so by clicking on the various links to the right side here. Once you're confident that your application is correct, you would click I have reviewed my application, and we would proceed to the point where we process application fees and submit an application. Once we get to that point, I'll go ahead and click on it. We have this disclaimer saying this stuff is true, that you've told us that all the information you've given us is correct. So we'll say OK, and here's where we get to the payment processing portal. If you do not have a credit card, this application will not work. So this is where we pay through our credit card. You'll select your credit card type, enter your card number, type the name of the card holder, expiration date, and the 3-digit code on the back of the card. And when you're done, you'll confirm payment authorization. That concludes my tutorial here of the application for international admission for students. If you have questions, please use that email address that I typed in here, gradschool@fhsu.edu, and many of your questions can be answered. Thank you for considering Fort Hays State University and applying to our graduate school. We look forward to seeing you in the near future.